welcome back to the Community Gameplan. My name's Eric Holman.
I'm Jim Smartin.
And that's Jim over there.
Hi.
Today's an interesting, it's going to be a really fun one, actually. This is going to be episode 20. And we're doing a little bit different talk today because we are going to be talking to our new team member.
Yeah.
And this was a fun
The
one.
newest
we have,
of the team at the moment.
What's that?
The newest as of this recording.
As of this recording, yeah, I should note that, hey. So Ayo, he was actually, it's really good, interesting because he was a past client of mine. He was a newcomer to Canada. As he mentioned, he moved here in 2019. I met him shortly after that, a little after that, and helped him buy a new construction during the pandemic, which was a nightmare. We might go down another road, but yeah, that was an interesting one. And you know, he and I, we just stayed in touch. You know, we connected really well during that transaction, and then we've stayed in touch afterwards. Oh, he's a great guy, other than the Arsenal aspect, but either way,
can't hold that against every Arsenal fan.
No, but yeah, so
they have redeeming qualities.
So either way, he is originally.
I can't.
He's originally from Nigeria, so it's another reason why we thought we'd help him out and help share our experience and our expertise in the local community.
Yeah, to help him grow because, well, again, he's somebody who's not just part of our community now. He's got his own community that, frankly, the better he can help them, the better it is for him. So
yeah. So up next is going to be our chat with Ayo. We hope you enjoy, and we'll make sure you see you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
All right. And welcome back. So on today's show, as we've mentioned earlier, we have a new recruit on our team, on the
team
real estate
member.
team, new team member. So we're going to talk about, we're going to have a little conversation with Ayo and talk about yourself and how you got involved in real estate and what you felt going through the real estate course. So Ayo, introduce yourself, give us a little background on you, and then we'll go from there.
Hi everyone. Again, my name is Ayo. It's pronounced as Ayo.
Oh, damn.
And so it's Ayo Ajayi. I'm fresh from the oven, new realtor in town. I am originally Nigerian, father of 3 kids and a wife, and love soccer. I'm just saying all of that things apart from.
Yeah, we won't bug you too much about the Arsenal shirt, but.
We won't? We don't have enough time for that.
We don't have enough time.
There's only so many jokes we can fit into an hour.
I guess we should have asked that when we brought you into the team before.
Yeah, who do you support before you can join?
All right. So real estate for me is life, and when I say it's life, it's practically life because I was born into real estate. My folks, my dad, my mom were realtors back in Nigeria, my home country. So I kind of like grew up having books, conversations going back and forth in my house back then, all about real estate, buying, selling, valuation, price, viewings and all that in my home. And I grew up knowing all about real estate. When it was time for me to decide on what to study in the university, it was pretty easy because I was already leaning towards that in terms of the courses I was good at and all that. So I decided to go into, by the way, I'm the first of my family of 4 children. So it was pretty easy for me thinking about the books my dad had accumulated over times, the knowledge I had gotten over time, not going to waste. So I decided to, read real estate in school.
Yeah.
So in Nigeria, it's called estate management. And so I did that as my first degree. And then coming out as a fresh baked student of real estate, I went into what we call NYSC, which is the National Youth Service Corps in Nigeria. It's just a year where every graduate from a tertiary institution will go serve the country in kind of like a paramilitary circumstance. So I did that for 1 year in upper part of Nigeria, the northern part of Nigeria. And then I came across the banking industry. I did a little bit of some stint in the banking industry for about 6 years. Then I lost my dad. And then it was just my mom managing the family business for a while. And then I was like, oh, she's getting old. I need to come join her in the business. So I left all the banking career and went to join my mom, like kind of like a U-turn back into my career path.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there for a couple of years, about 9 years, before I decided to relocate down to up to here to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into Canada, it wasn't like easy peasy that I thought it would have been just going into here. I did have a stint with the insurance company as a customer service agent. Then I got into the banking industry in an offshore bank here in Halifax, and I was there for about 3 years. Then I thought about it all, like I'm not getting younger. I need to go back again, the second U-turn back in my career path, which is real estate. So for me, real estate is life. I am not just someone just stumbling into it. I kind of like was born into it. So
Yeah.
that's practically it.
Me
So
and
yeah.
you have that
I was
that
just
same lifespan there, buddy.
yeah, I was just say Jim was born into it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know Jim is like in Jim's grand
Yeah, my
Grandmother
grandmother, my
and
mother.
generation of realtors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got legacies, my friend. Legacies.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So tell us a bit. You did the online course with NSAR, Nova Scotia Association of Realtors. How did you find that?
Oh yeah. So I know that from time to time the NSAR try to the course itself evolves.
Yes.
They try to make sure that it has more meaningful impact in the students and in the community as a whole.
Mhm.
So I felt at the end of the course that it kind of like helped me to connect more with what I was going to meet in real life, right?
Mhm.
It was more or less like real life scenarios all through, particularly about agency. It's the particular course I did last year was I think about 70 to 80, and that's what we do on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just about you reading up some form somewhere. There were a lot of real life scenarios that were taught about and how to tackle those cases,
Mm-hmm.
which was very helpful. And I keep meeting them on a daily basis now that I'm a realtor. So
Yeah.
it's very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely well, it's different now than when I took
Yeah.
the course twice. You took it in two different
I took it in two different
provinces.
Yeah.
Like it's so coming from a different country,
Yeah.
where it was done different as well. Like how did you find watching your parents' experiences to what you had to go through to get licensed here?
Yeah. So of course in Nigeria you also need to get licensed. It's not just about you taking it as a first degree course in the university. And there is also what we call the Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, which is more or less like the same as the NSAR here,
Yeah.
the Nova Scotian Association of Realtors.
Mm-hmm.
There you need to do the course, write the exam, pass the exam, and there's still a step again there. You need to do kind of like a project,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go sit and defend your project before you then qualify to become an
That's cool.
estate
Jeez.
surveyor and valuer.
That's
So there's
like
an extra step there,
yeah, that's
you know.
different.
But generally in the day-to-day life of an estate surveyor and valuer in Nigeria and a realtor here in Canada, there are so many differences and of course so many similarities.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So you naturally you will need to get to speak to people. You need to get to be tuned with your community. You need to get to pass the information to people because you see it's a professional career path,
Mm-hmm.
and so not everyone will understand the language of the realtors, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to have to do some education along the path with our clients and the community as a whole. So it's the same in Nigeria. We need to get to have that basis of having education to educating the community.
Mm-hmm.
But then aside from things like that, it's well more regulated here in Halifax, in Nova Scotia,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
Canada as a whole. For example, you have everything virtually online. You have you know platforms where in Canada where you want to check on the information on a property, you can virtually do that within 3 minutes, 5 minutes. You get all you need.
Right.
There's a data bank which is reliable to an extent, maybe 100%. That's a discussion for another day.
Yes.
But then in Nigeria, unfortunately, we do well. At the time I left in 2019, that data bank didn't exist.
Right.
So we have parcels of data bank, people trying to figure out the data by themselves, individuals, and different companies doing that. But there is no wholesome data that has all that we need for to drive the profession forward. So that's, of course, will create a lot of bottleneck in terms of just getting the information on this and that and all that. So, and then there are a lot of bureaucracy, of course, here in Canada as well. They definitely have bureaucracy in terms of maybe getting approvals for some things like maybe you want to have a change in use, for example.
Right.
You need to go through some process. The same thing there in Nigeria, but then it seems to be more there in Nigeria and in Africa generally.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, they just place those bottlenecks for some benefits.
So it sounds like there's less cooperation amongst realtors than in Nigeria versus what you see here.
Yes, there's more. I would say there's more competition.
Yeah.
Because if you just have your own data bank, you don't want to share it with this other person. You have the properties that they are for sale. This other person doesn't know what you have for sale.
Yeah.
So the client is kind of like bounced back between realtors and like, oh, what do you have? Oh, can you help me here? Can you help?
I see.
The client doesn't have this platform where they themselves find these properties
Right.
on their own, except when they drive through town, the city, and then they see the for sale sign and all that. That's when they say, oh, this building is for sale. There really is not. It's not really. There are some, but it's not something that is readily available for people.
It sounds a lot more like cloaks and pockets. It's like I have 50 listings, but I'm not going to tell you what they are.
No.
Come talk to me, and I'll help you find a home of a place I know is selling. So really, you're double-ending everything, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you see, when people like a realtor from there come here, they find it like, in a sense, very easy to operate because they feel that competition has been taken care of.
Yeah.
So it's more or less like a playing field now, all on the same level.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's now more or less your personality, the way people can perceive you, the trust you have built in the community.
Yeah.
It's more of the relationship than I have to talk to this agent, and if this agent doesn't have it, I have to find another one. Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah. That's it. And there's another thing here. When you get to as a to-be client, when you meet a realtor, you get to have to sign an agreement with our realtor to stick to the realtor for a period.
Yeah.
We practically do not have that in Nigeria. So it means that just imagine that scenario where you've done so much with this client, you've taken in, do a lot of viewings, and then the next morning you hear that he's gotten the property from another realtor.
Well, that was life here before buyer agency and seller agency relationship agreements. So it's, and Nova Scotia is very good with the agency, but when I sold in New Brunswick, we didn't have those agency relationships, so there was very similar. Like, we did cooperate, we shared all our information, but there was times like, if I was the listing agent, I a lot of times represented the buyer because they just called me.
Yeah. Well, it was also a lot more, again, just thinking back when before I got in, back in the days of just the real estate book or the real estate channel, those were options to advertise in that. And there were a lot more people holding stuff in pocket.
Yeah.
Just saying, oh, I reach out to a few people or say, hey, I have this listing. I'm telling you guys about it, but I'm not paying for the advertisement. I don't have the budget this month.
But it's crazy. Like this is 2026. I bought my first house in 2007. 2006. my realtor at that time was walking around with one of those big fat books.
Yeah, the real estate book.
Of real estate listings, right? And I remember even my dad and my mom, like when we were posted and stuff, like they would get sent in a mail.
And circling.
I mean, and I remember mom and dad one time saying like, well, you know, we were living in Germany, coming to Nova Scotia, and they were looking in Dartmouth. Well, they got this real estate book.
Mm-hmm.
By the time they actually got to Nova Scotia on their house hunting trip,
most of them were gone.
Most of them were gone.
Yeah,
it was so out of date.
Yeah, well, that's
so
it.
Out of date.
It depends on how fast the market was going, because you just have to flip through.
Yeah.
Here's Dartmouth. Okay, I got to turn to Dartmouth page. I have to circle these ones. It's like, oh, that's not available. That's not available. That's
But it's funny. It's like, you know,
it's a big jump.
Yeah.
It is.
Just to think about it, there's this other seemingly difference between the two types of you know, characteristics of how they carry out the business in real estate here in Canada and in Nigeria. So in Nigeria, we have what we call a land use decree or land use act, and which in essence is embedded in the constitution of the country.
Yeah.
So it's not something you can easily tweak. You can't change anything in it, except you want to change the entire constitution of the country. So with the Land Use Act, all lands in the states is vested in the governor of that state, right?
Yeah.
So just like here, where the premier, or you know, they are the supreme owners of the land,
right?
Right. So if you want to purchase the land, you will need to get what we call a certificate of occupancy.
Yes.
That's kind of like what shows that you are the rightful owner of that land that has been sub-vested to you from the governor.
Right.
All right. So every governor is just his own can I say geographical location, his own state vested in him. And every governor has to practically kind of like sign on every certificate of occupancy.
Oh my.
It's like, okay, you can own it, I guess.
And so because of that, part of the act says that you can't have land for forever. Mm-hmm. You can only have for as much as 99 years, which that's the freehold ownership. So here I noticed that it's virtually the same. You can't have land forever as well. You kind of like have to like re-own it after some time. So you have some old family lands that they've owned for like 100 years, and then that time expires. They need to rebuy it with the current value of price of that land.
Oh wow!
And it's that issue, right?
Yeah.
So land certificate of occupancy is a big deal in Nigeria because that's the ultimate document that says you own this portion of this land for this period of time.
Which I feel we just need to have people who are doing new builds just need it to say, okay, that house is livable.
Right. Yeah. Occupancy
permit.
Yeah.
That's
we do transfer of deeds, the same thing we do here.
Yeah.
Yeah, transfer of deeds where this person is selling his house. That CFO, which is the legal entity that proves your ownership.
Yeah. You
transfer that to this other person, and then you have a transfer deed to that person, including the certificate of occupancy. Of course, the new one will be built up with the new owner's name and all that. So those are bureaucracy that I was talking about that is in land, and I think it's in most countries of the world that have this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think really with people, especially like the Nigerian community coming, who that's like going to be a real specialty of yours, do you feel like in that you're going to have some difficulty like explaining how real estate works here, so that like to get them to understand that it works different in signing the papers?
They don't need 5 realtors. They only need to connect with one.
Yeah. So Jim, that was a very wonderful question, and over time, I came in 2019, which is about 7 years now, close to 7 years now, and I will tell you, even someone like me that was born into the career, still had some difficulties in understanding the dynamics.
Yes.
I'm still building myself. I'm a work in progress, right? but the thing is, for someone that didn't even have that base understanding, didn't have that foundational knowledge of real estate in Nigeria, you can understand that they will have double the challenge that I am having or that I had.
Yeah.
So for my community, I believe that one of the challenges that we will be faced with and are faced with right now is the educational or the knowledge gap on how it works here. All right.
Right. Yeah.
That's why one of my forte, one of my mantra and what I want to do is to make sure this community called the Nigerian in Nova Scotia understand better how real estate works.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, yeah. So it's the community for an immigrant coming into a place like somewhere that they weren't born into, and they didn't just come at a cradle age. They came at kind of like a
Yeah.
matured age,
Already educated.
Right.
Like,
already educated. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's it's kind of like difficult to remold that individual and remove what you ever knew before
yeah.
Yeah.
and
To
replace it with the
re-educate.
new
Yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah.
There's this gonna be friction. No, I don't want to let that go. I want to keep my old knowledge and all that. So
Yeah.
but with time and with more of the Nigerian realtors and the community getting more involved in wanting to know more about real estate, with time we're just going to keep closing that gap of
Right.
the understanding of real estate. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Um,
and that's why we'll hope to help you as well. Help
Yeah.
you to learn as much as you can to pass on that information to your
Oh,
community.
definitely.
what's
Yes.
something
Yes.
from when you just came here and you moved here? Something that you found was that you really know now that you kind of wished you knew when you bought, or that you feel like when you bought it seemed to be an issue, but you understand it a lot better now that you've actually taken your course, like the difference of purchaser to realtor.
So I didn't get a question. What did you
It's
say?
just like what is something that you've noticed, like a big change in that, like, or
Like,
something
what's
that
something
when
you wish you knew before you
yeah,
bought
or that you know way
that you
better
know
now.
now that you know now?
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So there was this very very outstanding one, and that's the issue of mortgage.
Hmm.
So Nigeria is not a country of it's not a mortgage country. There's
Right.
nothing, not best, know how best to speak, say that, right?
Yeah.
We don't have that form of lending capacity in Nigeria.
Mhm.
And it's of course based on different factors, which I probably is another story for another day.
Yeah.
So you can imagine you want to buy a property that is probably $400,000, for example, right? And in Nigeria, you kind of like have to get $400,000 to buy that house, right? So it's not easy to be a homeowner or
Mhm.
landowner in Nigeria because need to get the entire capital,
Right.
right? There are no lending. There are few of them that do the lending, but then the interest rates and some of that form of the bureaucracy will not encourage the community or the common man to kind of like invest in it. So when I came here, I didn't understand the way I know now the difference between the dynamics of mortgage, right?
Right. Yeah.
The dynamics of what the fixed rate is, the variable rate is, the advantage of one over the other.
Yeah.
It's sometimes people compare apples with oranges,
Yes.
you know, and so I kind of like had my hands burnt initially, and I wish I know what I knew what I know now, and I probably would be in a better financial position to help more people. And so because of that, I take it as one of my key points to, help people, advise them to meet up with their banks,
Yes.
the mortgage brokers, to have this very, very, important discussion with them. Because as a realtor, I'm not a professional to guide you on what all that is.
No.
But at the end of the day, when you're going to invest in something that is this expensive, capital intensive, you need to know what this turn is all about. Like this turning in my life, this investment I'm about to make, what are the ins, the pros, and all that. So particularly for mortgage, it's a whole ball game, a whole new information that is necessary to go into for new people coming into the country,
Yeah.
especially for people that are not coming from countries or communities where they have mortgage, as they're not used to it, right?
Yeah.
So, the things about the fixed rates, the length, the prime rates, all that are so foreign. Although there are things that I read when I was in university, but it's different from when you read something and you just go to the exam hall to pass the courses.
Yeah.
It's different from what you actually experience. Even if you did not read anything banking or real estate and you just grew up here, there's a great possibility that you know what mortgage is all about.
Right.
Someone just starting from the scratch, you don't know what fixed rate is or
It's
variable
fun.
rate.
You've opened my eye. Like I've worked with yourself, helping you purchase, but I've helped many Nigerian families back here, and this mortgage thing. That's one thing I guess I took for granted.
You knew what it was.
I knew what it was, but I didn't realize these people didn't.
Yeah. Well, it's important to know now. Now
we know. But
now that Ayo's brought it forward, it's great that we had again the whole community game plan, the real estate team. It's like it's the education as it goes, and I think that is actually having somebody who experienced different.
Well, he can talk to
he can talk about it,
yeah.
and so we have learned something that can help other people go forward because of making sure that we expand our community beyond
exactly
the regular community. We diversify.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Like I said, I mean, that's I love our jobs because we learn something new every day, and like, even this podcast, like we've had some really deep conversations. We have conversations like this, Bug and Ayo on Arsenal, but we did learn something here from him as well. And our producer's giving a thumbs down in the background.
Ayo, thank you, and thank you for joining the team and shaking us up as well, like making sure we're on our toes.
Oh yeah, you're definitely going to keep us on our toes, but in a good way. Because again, like we're gonna see things through your eyes, and it's gonna help us in our own education and help us, to grow your business, to help you grow your business, and help your community, which is our big thing.
Yes. So for me, Eric and Jim, I'm so happy to be connected to you guys. That our paths crossed.
Yes.
I would say that it's a win-win case in the end of the day. At the end of the day,
agreed.
In the sense that I do need your expertise, your experience,
knowledge of the areas.
In and out, the pubs, the restaurants. Don't go here, don't go there.
Yes. I've already told them about a few no-go neighborhoods.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. That you can tell me sometimes like, oh, this is not HRM. This HRM doesn't get to this point.
Right.
Some things are not actually written in any books, right?
No.
So there are things you just learn because you grew up here.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to have come across you guys, and I would say you guys have been very patient, and that's the key thing. And I really cherish the relationship we have. You've been very patient with me, and I may be a nuisance once in a while. I'm sorry about that.
So am I. Don't worry about it.
I'm an apology.
Hey, we've been in your shoes. We've been in your shoes. So, like, we've had mentors growing up, and we needed. We didn't learn everything in one day, and like I said, we're always learning. I'm dealing with a couple transactions right now over the weekend that I'm like, oh, I've never dealt with this before.
Yeah. So just before we go, I just want to quickly also say that I don't. So I'm passionate about real estate. I'm passionate about how real estate can make you get out of the bubble of in depth.
Yeah.
And because it's kind of like a bubble as far as I'm concerned. You just keep having to pay back to the government.
Yes. Yeah.
The taxes that never come down.
The cycle. It's just a continuous cycle.
It's a continuous cycle, right? So real estate is a vehicle that can help you mitigate and go around that cycle, right?
That's right.
And I'm also passionate about health and wellness. And I had this discussion, particularly with Jim the other day. I told him that I sell cookwares, and he was like, "What?" So I just want to drop that here. That I'm also passionate about health and wellness. I'm passionate about what you take in as per food, the nutrients, the level of the the nutrients that you can keep in the food you are taking in, the toxins that come from cookware, how to mitigate that, the usage of very, very good premium cookwares to make sure that, one of the things people don't know is that a lot of the life-threatening diseases and cancer, for example, they are life uh, based on lifestyle. They don't just
Yeah.
happen overnight.
Yeah.
And so, if you do not take care of how you prepare your food, what you eat, organic things, what you eat, how you prepare it, and all that, you just have these things they call forever living metals in your body system, killing you slowly.
Yeah.
So I'm passionate about that. I'm one of the forerunners on that in Atlantic Canada here, and of course I also play soccer with my buddies here.
Yeah.
Even even at this age, I still play soccer. We discuss soccer. I live and breathe soccer. My wife is tired about all that, but there's nothing
Good.
she can
Join
do.
our team.
Yeah. Jim's looking for some
I need a
summer
new
players.
player.
I know. I used to play with a group of guys that are within the early 40s to mid 40s, and I just crossed over that mid 40 line. So
There you
I
go, Jim.
probably am not that of that team now, you know.
Well,
So
Jim will be talking to you.
Yeah, I'll be talking to you.
He'll be-
But anyway,
Either
we're
way.
getting to wrap it up.
Yeah. So, Ayo, this was great. I mean, this was just a little.
Ayo.
Ayo, sorry. I'm so used to that. We just touched the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg with you. So, I mean, we're definitely going to have more conversations now that you're part of the team, and
Yeah.
we're really happy to have you. And like you said, you are keeping us on our toes, but that's good, right? We want to keep moving. We want to keep moving forward together as a group and individually, and we're here to help. We want to help you and your community, and so we'll definitely have you on, and maybe we'll pick another conversation that we can help.
sure, that'll be wonderful. Thank you guys for having me today.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for
have a nice
jumping in,
one.
buddy.
No, this was great. Thanks again, Aya. And
Yeah.
I'll put some of your contact information when we do this, and once we get this out, I'll let you know, and we'll go from there.
No worries.
Awesome.
Thank you, Eric. Bye.
This episode is brought to you by the real engines behind this podcast, Colin Alexander of Conduit Media.
Yeah, because without Colin, this show would sound like we were recorded in a tin can underwater during a hurricane.
Facts. Colin somehow takes our rambling, half-finished thoughts and turns them into something that almost sounds professional.
Almost. It's doing some heavy lifting there on his part, but we'll take it.
And of course, we've got Jay Fisher of Capture It Photography.
The man who finds your good side even when you don't have one.
Speak for yourself there.
Yeah, I am. And somehow he still makes it work. He's got the lighting, the angles, the editing. Jay makes it look like we have our lives together.
Which, again, is a little questionable at best.
Together, these two don't just help produce the podcast. They're the reason it actually looks and sounds good.
So if you're thinking about starting a podcast, building your brand, or just want to look sharper than your competition,
Call Colin, call Jay, trust us. You need them more than you think.
we just show up and talk, really.
Yeah, they literally do everything else.
Appreciate you guys.
You guys
Thank
couldn't do it
you.
without you.
So again, thank you, Jay and Colin of Conduit Media and Capture It Photography. Back to our show.
Yeah, let's play with this one, everyone. Let's play some interest rate hot take. So we got Eric here in the hot seat. Let's go with this. Interest rates don't actually decide your buying power. Your mindset and strategy do. Are buyers using rates as an excuse to sit on the sidelines?
Yes.
100% yes. I hear it all the time. Right now, actually, interest rates are fairly decent for the most part, in that under 5% range for what I'm hearing. But definitely when interest rates were a lot higher, that was a big, big thing. You always heard, oh, I'm just waiting for interest rates to come down. Why? I know so many people that missed out on properties because they were waiting for their interest rates to drop when they could have got into the house, sat there for 5 years, new interest rates now are dropped, and now they can refinance at a lower rate and a lower purchase, or not purchase price, but value price, right? So they're now behind the game, or they're behind the 8 ball by waiting.
Hey, Eric, quick question. Interest prices. When the interest rate goes down, what do the purchase prices do?
Tend to go up.
And year over year, let's just say you don't buy a house this year, you're going to wait for the interest rate to next year. What tends to happen year over year with purchase prices?
They also increase because well, especially in our market, we've seen drastic increases over the last 4 or 5 years.
So I feel like maybe people waited themselves out of a home, is what you're saying?
Yeah, for a little bit.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, the other side of things is you do what I did back in just before the recession hit back a while ago now. My 5-year term came due, and we went into the bank, and interest rates were kind of fluctuating a little bit here and there. They tried to lock us in for a 5-year term, another 5-year term, and I think my second or third year of real estate, and I actually said to the banker, I said, no, I want a 1-year term. And they argued and argued and argued and argued with me. Finally gave me my 1-year term because I threatened to go to another bank. The next year I showed up. Guess what happened to the interest rates?
Drop.
They dropped. Because we were going into a recession at that point. So went back into the bank, went to renew. They tried to push me in for another 5-year term. I said, no, I want my 1-year term, please, or I will, take my mortgage and go elsewhere. Back and forth, gave me my 1 year. Year 3, back into the bank. Guess what happened with interest rates?
Up
No, they dropped once again.
again.
I did that 4 years in a row. That I went back to that bank every year, asked for a 1-year term, argued with me for the first 3 years. The 4th year, they did not argue with me whatsoever, and they just said, here's your 1-year rate. And then guess what? When that 1-year rate came up, back into the bank the following year, what do you think is at that point?
You have a lot of playing of the going downs here, so let's go with up this time.
It actually had made its last drop, and then the year after that, interest rates started increasing. So I actually tied in for the 5-year at the very, very best time I could. And then after that, when that next 5-year term was up, interest rates were actually back down again. So it actually worked out really well for me.
So what you're saying is, you're definitely heavy on the stop sitting the sidelines and fix your strategy.
That's right. Strategy is huge, and that's what we're about. We're about educating, and that's why I tell my stories. And I have experience as a salesperson and as a house owner. So make sure you have the right strategy. There's always a way in.
Yeah, like it.
Awesome.
Hot takes, back to the shows. Hey!
All right, and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed our quick conversation with Ayo. Unfortunately, this is going to be his last conversation with us because Arsenal fan. We really should have interviewed better after this before we brought him on.
Next person, we're doing much better interviews, making sure that
we'll have a bigger questionnaire sheet.
Exactly, much better questionnaire.
Just joking there. No, that was great. Like I said, Ayo. He gave us something to learn and think about because different communities coming from Nigeria to Canada. He spoke about the mortgages, and they don't do mortgages over there, and it's something I never even thought of.
The fact he actually went to university for this stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a lot more rigmarole than to get into his real estate license there than there was here.
I'll tell you right now, is if I was playing a hot topic, I'd be saying, should we have to do projects that we have to actually defend in front of like a group?
Isn't that like doctorates here that or lawyers that
doctors, lawyers, psychologists,
psychologists, I mean, we sat through. I mean, my original real estate course, I sat through it 2 weeks, Monday to Friday in class.
Yep.
Took 2 weeks off, went back, wrote my exam.
Yep.
I think 2 weeks later, I got a letter in the mail saying I passed.
You failed and had to take the exam again. Oh, sorry, that was me my first time.
No, I passed my New Brunswick and my Nova Scotia one first try.
No, look at you, fancy pants. Look at Eric. I'm the guy who studies everything well and knows how to put things in order.
I did not study.
Damn it.
We won't go there. But no, I'm not a great student for studying. That's for sure. But no, I mean, to me, real estate. Our background, military. Like I said, we moved around. I was always that kid over my dad's shoulder. So, I must have intook some information when I was younger, but I mean, the big thing too, I found when I went through my first, I don't know if I ever told you this story, but I sat through my first real estate course in New Brunswick, and it was about a year and a half after I bought my first house ever. And I remember sitting there in class a couple times, and they're going through different things. I'm like, yeah, we got screwed. Yeah, we got screwed. Yeah, we got screwed. Yeah, we shouldn't have done that. Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to help people prevent.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know, again, I've mentioned it a bunch, but one of the reasons I got back into real estate was after I got into the kitchen and stuff like that, having friends and stuff come to me and be like, question about this, question about that. And I'm just like, what is going on here? And I'm just like, no, I'm coming back in because I at least want to make sure that my friends know what they're doing.
Exactly.
And it's not that, like, people were bad. It's just they left them not knowing sometimes. And it's like, I know my work, I know my terms, but if I don't make it something somebody understands,
it is unfortunate.
They're
see
just
that
trusting
so much
us
right now. And I hear the horror stories. We hear the horror stories of, newer agents giving bad advice, or
or just like I said, it's I've had some really knowledgeable agents who aren't breaking down what it means in terms of people who don't understand real estate talk.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden these people are coming back saying, oh, I didn't understand this. I didn't understand. Yeah. And it's the agents are getting in trouble that they could have avoided all along.
Yep.
Because it's, your work, but they don't know what you're saying.
Yeah. It's like the email that just went out not far long ago from the Nova Scotia Real Estate Commission about, making sure us realtors are staying in our lane.
Yeah.
Again. Making sure that if we're focusing on residential, we should not be going and talking about commercial real estate.
No, not unless we really have.
Piece.
If you have both, great.
Yeah, but it's the same too. As if you're working in the city and you work 100% in the city, and now for you to go
play with a well and a septic,
and wetlands and this and that, our last podcast when we did lawyer review, there's things that come up.
Bring somebody in to help you.
Yeah.
Just bring somebody in to help you.
Or like the message from the Real Estate Commission said, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
We both do condos, but there's some people that strictly do condos. And those are the experts at that. But those people probably rarely ever do anything else.
Yeah. And it's not saying that it'll always be one lane or the other, but if you're looking to switch lanes, make sure you have that professional signed on with you, that specialist. Like, you want to learn something, don't try it without help.
Yeah. So I think we saw through our interview with Ayo. He's definitely on Ayo. Sorry, I told you I'm horrible with names, and I've known him for years. And it is what it is.
Great, I enjoyed the interview.
I did too.
I enjoy the guy.
You could tell he definitely cares, and he's going to care about his clients deeply.
Yeah,
and make sure that he gets them the correct information
and his community.
And his community. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's it for today, and again, thank you for listening or watching us on YouTube. Please make sure you give us a like, subscribe, share. You can find us on all major platforms. The audio version is on all the major platforms for podcasting. We do post this full video on YouTube, on the Real Estate channel, and on my personal YouTube channel. But also follow us on social media.
Yeah, and if you're in the community, you have something you want people to hear, something you want us to highlight, please reach out to us.
Yeah.
My tongue's tied now.
You're
But
welcome.
yeah, we're always happy to look at what you have, what you want to highlight, and we love supporting the community.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, this is episode 20. I mean, we are in our second year of doing this, and we've had some really interesting conversations. I've learned some new things and found some hidden gems in our city that we weren't even aware of before.
Yep.
So this has been great.
certainly is.
So again, thank you for joining us on the Community Game Plan. My name's Eric Holman,
I'm Jim Smartin.
and we hope that you all have a great day, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Adios.
Colin wants us out.
Colin wants a soda. Jay doesn't care. Jay doesn't even know. Jay said leave the doors unlocked.